Hello, welcome back to Fallout, and we're here at the Strip in Fallout New Vegas. So we are visiting Vault 21 today, which is the vault that was built directly under Las Vegas, and it was actually one of the more successful vaults. The experiment in it wasn't massively harmful to the residents compared to some of them. So it's currently a hotel on the Strip, so we're down at the kind of far end of the Strip. So the NCR embassy's there. There's the Ultralux and Michelangelo's shop where all the kind of billboards and neon signs and things are made. And then we've got this little door here. So the experiment in Vault 21 was quite straightforward. Basically everybody was equal standing socially, and all conflicts and problems were resolved through gambling. So the winner of the gamble would then be able to settle the issue from their point of view, essentially. So any kind of conflicts or disputes were all sorted that way. So the Vault's number is a clear reference to a popular gambling game, which the first iteration of it was actually called 21, but there's a number of different versions. I was first introduced to it as Pontoon. When I was younger, my dad taught me quite a few card games, including poker as well, but one of the first ones that we learned to play as kids was Pontoon. But certainly in casinos and in the States it tends to be known as blackjack, and the basic aim of the game is just to collect cards to reach 21 without going over 21 and going bust. And that's kind of the basic goal, but there's different rules and things that can be in place in different places and different casinos and things. So that's kind of where the name comes from. So it's obviously a very fitting name for a vault that's located under Las Vegas Strip. I was just looking at this notice board here. So this is basically the same one that you see in Vault 101, but they've changed the numbers, so that's quite fun. So what happened in this vault is, I say, it was successful. The dwellers kept going for a long time, and things were working out quite well. And then in 2274, Mr. House contacted Vault 21 and basically said, look, do you want to kind of open up to the surface and be part of the kind of city state that he was trying to create with New Vegas? And the majority of the Vault dwellers were not really interested. They didn't want to kind of do this, but there were a group that wanted to say yes and to kind of go up to the surface and things like that. So as per the rules of the Vault, when there was two sides to a question and they couldn't make a decision, then they had to gamble for it. So what happened was that they played a very long game of blackjack that went on for several hours, and then the group that were in favour of opening the vault did win after what they described as a very risky move. So then Mr. House took ownership of the vault, and he basically had the vault stripped of all useful tech and filled in with concrete. But Sarah here, so let's go back up actually to see. So this is Sarah Weintraub. She is the kind of leader of the vault now. So when House was going to fill in the vault with concrete, she spoke to him and negotiated with him for the vault to be allowed to stay open, and he agreed and let her set it up as a hotel and casino. But a lot of the residents were forced to leave the vault, and many of them headed off into the wasteland. So you remember obviously the beginning of the game. Don't know if I've still got it on me. Yeah, I do. So at the very beginning of the game, Doc Mitchell, who is the man that obviously fixes you up after you get shot in the head, so he and his wife left. They came from Vault 21. So the Vault jumpsuit that you get from him, the Vault 21 jumpsuit, is Doc Mitchell's old one if you're a male character, or his wife's old one if you're a female character. So they decided they were going to head towards California, but his wife took ill because she had a weakened immune system and she died. So that's how Doc Mitchell ended up in Goodsprings, and he just felt there was no point in travelling any further without his wife, so he just stayed in Goodsprings and became the town doctor. And then Michelangelo's next door. We saw he makes the neon signs and the billboards and things, and he gives you the quest to go and take photos of the famous signs around Vegas. And he's actually Sarah's brother Sheldon, but he took on the name Michelangelo because he wanted to be an artist. So but he developed agoraphobia, so he doesn't like to leave his shop anymore, which is why he sends you off with a camera to go and take pictures of things for inspiration. It is possible to get down to the maintenance level of the vault through an elevator in the top, so it's really difficult to do. Basically, we're in Benny's suite where there's a hole blasted in the wall, and you've got Yes Man hanging out in there. There is an elevator there that takes you down into the reactor level of this vault, but it's only open for a very short time under very specific circumstances, so you have to convince Benny to meet you in the presidential suite and then attack him or kill him before he can run, and then you have to get to it and it's unlocked. There's not really much down there, it's just like sort of tunnels and vault doors, and there's a little bit of loot and things because you're not really supposed to be able to get in there. You're not really supposed to get into that, so it's kind of a, but you can get there and you can use console commands as well to kind of open the elevator to see what's there, but it's not very exciting because I say it's not something that you're really supposed to do or supposed to need to do. But we'll have a wee look around and we'll have a chat to Sarah. So you've got the Vault-Tec flag up here. Hello. You've got some of the posters. Captain Cosmos is there. This kind of light up poster with Vault Boy in the background looking like he's God or something, interestingly. And projectors, radios, buttons. Yeah. Vault-Tec lunchboxes there. Toasters. Hard work is happy work. We've got a very hard lock terminal here, but I'm just gonna so this is Sarah's email messages. New message from Sheldon Weintraub. Hey little sis, how are you holding up? I miss you so much, Sarah. This place makes me want to run back to our home every single day. I just had to write you so that I could feel a bit warmer. The warehouse's cold air weighs on me as heavily as the concrete that Mr. House dumped into our vault. Damned be his soul. Yeah, I imagine you did not expect that outburst from your cool bro, but I am reaching the end of the corridor here. Emptiness is my muse, doubt is my only mistress. Everything that once inspired my art slowly drifts back into nothingness, into an unfathomable void, where neither I find light nor its radiance searches for the spring of my soul. Bad, don't I sound pathetic? I do not wish to worry you, little sis. I just wish I could be there with you right now. Perhaps once I find my strength again, once I finish the latest suggestion for Mr. House, I'll venture into the strip and visit you. My thoughts are with you, hot-headed roadster. So, and then our influential friends. Dear Miss Weintraub, this is Charlene Tan writing to say thank you for the great experience we had at your hotel. Can't wait to tell my inner circle. As you recall, my husband Biff is a very respected and influential man in our wealthy community. The Shaw, Ingrid Denger and Lady Bufton will soon come for tea to our estate, and I will direct them your way. They will love the quaint and rustic feel of your cramped underground hole. Très chic. Even Biff still talks about his new favourite ranging garb. The leather from my Vault 21 suit contains the scent of unwashed ages, he says to all our visitors, but he won't let them try it on for 1 minute, dear. With most sincerity, Miss Tan. And I believe that is supposed to be a Back to the Future reference as well. Sent mail. Hey you, what's shaking my cool bro? You'll be happy to know that our vault is packed and coasting along, even with those Legionnaires. Bad news. We still get plenty of NCR squares down here. They're all chirpy and don't appear to mind that Caesar is cruising for a bruising all over the place. Maybe the NCR is stronger than we thought. Huh, don't know. You think we can trust them over Mr. House? I still feel all clutched over what he did to our home. I mean, yeah, that is good that we got to keep part of our vault, but I can't shake the thought that one of these days he'll just push me out into the open. Once he does not need us anymore. I tell you, we should have never accepted his challenge. That shuckster cheated us, I am sure. Anyway, you've heard all of that before, and I just wanted to bring you a smile. Cheer up, Buttercup, I miss you, Sarah. So that's obviously a reply to her brother. Hold on. I've lost karma for looking at a computer screen. Okay. So yeah, let's have a chat with Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah Weintraub. Welcome to the finest vault hotel in the whole world.
Hello, nice to meet you. So, are you the owner of this?
Well, it is my vault, all right. I mean, yeah, that is, no. I take care of it, but I suppose you could say that it belongs to Mr. House.
Mm-hmm. So, what does Mr. House have to do with it?
Mr. House has everything to do with Vault 21. He tried to get us out before he filled it with concrete. I almost went ape. So we convinced him. Okay, Sheldon and I, right? We convinced him to leave the top level mostly intact.
So why did they fill it with concrete?
I don't know. Maybe he didn't want anybody sneaking around down there. My vault runs deep and wide. It's filled with corridors and rooms that go far. What gives him the right to screw us with the royal shaft anyway? So he saved New Vegas. Woohoo! Now scram and let us go on with our lives. Sheesh.
Okay. Well, Mr. House won't give you any more trouble.
Do you mean that he's a goner?
Mm-hmm.
I can have my vault back? That's just super. I thought we'd never see a different New Vegas. One that belongs to the people.
So yeah, she's quite happy if you've killed House, which I obviously have on this character, then she's quite happy about that. But I'd like to ask you more about you and Vault 21.
Okay, you're
So, you run the place.
Yeah, and you gotta dig what I did with it. Looking as good as it should. Almost.
Do you miss the old days?
It was bustling with activity. We all knew each other so well. You see, the vault kept us all even. It's all symmetry and windows down there. We solved any quarrels through gambling. Lady Luck cast no eyeballs, you know? So, nobody shafted anyone else. Yeah, I miss those days.
Do you know Doc Mitchell?
Mitch? You mean Molebutt? I hadn't thought about that name in a long time. I was just a child and he had a big mole in his rear bumper. You understand, kids and all that. Everyone knows about each other in a vault. There's no other way. I hope Mitch is doing well.
Do you get a lot of business?
Sure, the place is packed. Usually. We get loads of NCR cubes these days. A stray Brahmin Baron once in a while, and recently circled couples shining big rocks on their fingers.
Okay.
Okay, how can I help you?
Was it like this before the war?
No, silly. Of course it wasn't always a hotel. I grew up in it. I love it. My favorite place in the world. Not that I know much of the world. I never left this place, come to think of it. But it is the most special vault ever.
Okay, what's so special about it?
My vault is pure New Vegas. Everyone has a chance, and Lady Luck smiles if you play your odds right. Okay, it was like that before we had to leave. Vault 21 had very smart ways to help people get along. All arguments and fights got solved through gambling. I'll give you a quick tour of my home. Oh yeah, if you like. All right.
So you've never actually left the vault?
Sure I have. I made the scene in the strip. It's just that I really like it here. Vault 21 is a kick.
I don't have the perception for that. Okay.
All right. Vault 21 had very...
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Radio.
Let's take a tour.
All right, please We'll head into the vault right away.
Yeah, so I think the perception check basically lets you kind of figure out that she also has a degree of agoraphobia.
Solid stone outside and thick steel on the inside.
Which kind of makes sense, and you know, if you have spent your whole life in this big underground vault where you know everybody, you know, and you never leave it, and then suddenly you're kind of forced to leave it, or you're kind of sent up, and then you can imagine that could be quite overwhelming for people, you know, to come out of a, you know, tight, closed off bunker like this to then end up, you know, up in the world and it's wide open. Okay, are you planning on giving me a tour, or are you just going to stop and look at me, Sarah?
Above us, there's the control center for this level of the vault's life support systems, electric grid, radioactive shields, and all that jazz.
Okay.
Don't get lost. My vault has many corridors and rooms, although it is no longer symmetrical after Mr. House threw us out. Hello.
After what happened to Mr. House, nobody knows for sure what's in play for the strip.
Okay. So
This is the main game hall. Here we settle the big disputes among the vault's levels. Chosen representatives gambled against each other here. The winner earned the right to settle the dispute as wished by the collector.
Yeah, so they've kind of left it as a casino. You've got some
We used to have
blackjack
such
tables and
parties
stuff.
in this diner. A bitch to clean later, but well worth it.
Yep.
Those free side thugs aren't worth our time anymore.
Territories are safer now that the
Can you
concept
believe it?
Vegas at night is like
Hey.
nothing else.
Don't they know who they're dealing with?
Okay, please continue with the tour, Sarah. Come on.
This hall leads to our guest rooms. You can use the first room on our left, but no snooping next door. That's my room. Always was.
Okay.
Down there is the game room. Each side of the vault had one, but the other is filled with concrete now. Okay, that wraps it up. I'll see you soon. Hello.
Yep. Hello. Goodbye. Yeah. So yeah, you can rent a room here, and this is the room that you get. It's pretty nice actually. I mean, compared to some places in the wasteland, you know, you've got a bathtub that's clean, you've got a toilet that's relatively clean. You know, functioning bathrooms are quite hard to come by in this, you know, in this world. So let's have a look at this guest terminal. So services, diner menu. Enjoy our pre-war classic diner with the following meals: breakfast, aspartame sugar bombs give the young'uns an early boost. Real cornflour pancakes would make Monfanto Co proud. Savoury iguana sausages. No, we only cook female iguanas. For lunch, mesquite flavoured Casdor wings. Get back at them with spice. Applesauce gecko stew, so good you'll crawl up the wall. Creamy mac and cheese. Your wife will stop asking for clam chowder. And then for dinner, Brahmin sirloin on blue bighorn cheese. Even Gandhi could not sit this one out. Jesus. Yum yum deviled eggs over pork and beans. Go out tonight with a bang. Grilled mantis claw on pinion nuts. Has he been for too long in Gomorrah? All meals served from 7 AM to 10 PM. Gift catalogue, so it's all the things that you can buy from the gift shop. Vault 21 suits, real leather with real attitude. Pre-war toasters, crunch of yesterday and today's bread. Pre-war books, pleasure of owning what you can't understand. Vault 21 card decks, stacked with 200 years of good luck. Sensor modules see them coming a mile away. Vault 21 pool sets hustle it like Minnesota Fats. Nitrogen canisters laugh it all out. Pre-war toy cars, toys, yes, but they still run. Be among the elite few to possess a piece of the past and your bright future. So that's basically all the stuff that Sarah sells. And then convenience services for guests, courtesy intercom wake-up calls, laundry facilities, guided tours, strip-style poker lessons, room service, network access. So yeah, all in all, pretty nice. Wait, was that everything? I knew I'd missed something. So history of Vault 21. Vault 21, a paradise of equality. So Vault 21 has a story unlike any other nuclear fallout shelter. You're about to learn why. It is common knowledge that some vaults were built and organised with motives that went beyond their function as safeguards of our last great hope, the hope that humanity would survive even the worst catastrophe imaginable, nuclear war. Vault 21 was one of these experimental vaults. In the spirit of Las Vegas, our vault was built and organised around gambling. Everything you will see here follows the idea that humans can coexist and organise their lives based on the principle that skill is the only factor that should tip the blind balance held by Lady Luck. We embodied the perfect equilibrium between self-reliance and social equality. Each level of Vault 21 was symmetrical and transparent. Each room looked exactly like the next, and every gambling place was built in plain sight so that no person would have an advantage over another. Thanks to this, quarrels in our society were solved from an equal starting ground, the best one, just like our American dream promised so long ago. After 200 years of living in harmony, we finally awoke to the nature of the outside world when Mr. House and his able wisdom resurrected our lost city as New Vegas. Then, opening to a new world. 7 years ago, Mr. House rebuilt and organised the great city of New Vegas. Vault 21 rests in the middle of the strip, and it was inevitable that it would become part of the city's bright future. Mr. House contacted our community and offered us to participate in the resurgence of New Vegas. Most Vault 21 dwellers refused the offer. Life was comfortable, safe and fruitful. We had grown so accustomed to the benefits of our isolated society that we could not conceive leaving it behind for an unknown future, teetering on a precarious balance. Still, there were some among us who disagreed with the prevailing wisdom. They challenged, on Mr. House's behalf, each of the Vault level's representatives that supported continuing our isolation. According to the custom, a game would be set up where the winner would decide the course of the community's future. A game of blackjack was scheduled and held in this very level of Vault 21. After many hours of gruelling struggle, Mr. House's supporters won. In an extremely risky and fateful gambit, they decided to open up the doors to the outside world. The rest upheld our system and remained true to their promise to abide by the victor's decision. After almost 200 years within Vault 21's halls, we released the seals of the ancient doors we opened to a new world. Well, interestingly, they say that, but Vault 21 is one of the few vaults that doesn't have the big gear-shaped door anywhere, unlike most of the vaults. So, interesting one there. And then a tribute to Mr. House. Mr. House, with the help of the families, had transformed the mostly unharmed ruins of Las Vegas into a paradise. It resembled the city that we remembered thanks to the stories and items that our forefathers told and secured in Vault 21 after the cataclysm. We were awestruck and cautious at once. Slowly, we left the confines of the vault and settled within New Vegas, aiding in its reconstruction. Vault 21, a giant complex of functioning machinery, became a great source of materials with which to rebuild New Vegas. Mr. House stripped the vault and filled its empty husk with concrete, only leaving behind part of the vault's top level. This section is where you now find hospice, and where the warmth of our ancient home remains alive for all to enjoy. We have come to recognise the wisdom of Mr. House in forging a new and brighter future for all generations of New Vegas inhabitants. Without his leadership, the barren wasteland would have remained uncivilised, savage and brutal for all time. We sincerely hope that you join us in celebrating the glory of New Vegas and the memory of Vault 21's legacy. So there you go. Okay. So yeah, you can't get into them until you've actually paid for a room. But yeah, so that's the kind of guest terminals, and then this here is Sarah's room. So you can get legitimate access to this room. This is where you find the snow globe for the strip, which is really cool. So Sarah gives you a quest to basically bring her Vault jumpsuits, and if you bring her enough, then she'll let you sleep with her. There we go. Okay, well, that's pretty much the same as what was on the other one.
Looks like Mr. House went out of luck, huh?
There we go. So yeah, you can see the concrete there. There's some letters kicking around as well, which you can find all over the strip and in the NCR embassy.
Don't they know who they're dealing with? Watch your caps. They go quick.
Okay. Yeah, there's another.
Can you believe they tried killing our president? Don't they know who they're dealing with?
Yeah, so it's just another kind of socialising space here. Yeah, you can see where it's all been blocked off with rubble and concrete. Upper level of the atrium. Yes, that's pretty much it. I say a lot of the vault's gone. There's no access to like the overseer's office or anything as far as I know. And just got these terminals here. So yeah, everything, life support, access, and security is all kind of overridden by House's network. But you know, it's nice that you let them keep some of it, I suppose. But you know, it's also quite a harsh thing. It's just House wants to be in control of everything. That's just the way he works. So yeah, and then back up to the gift shop. Yeah, and that's Vault 21, or what's left of it, which is kind of sad. Again, it's one of these situations where you have a vault that's successful and works quite well for people, and then somebody comes along and ruins it. Same thing happened in Vault 3, you know, where everything was fine. It was a control vault, and then they were just tricked by raiders basically and wiped out. Yeah, so that's Vault 21, which is the Vegas one, where everything was decided by gambling, and it worked fine for 200 years until House came along and just decided that he wanted control of it, because that's what House does. You know, he wants everything to be kind of under his control, because he believes that he is the best hope for the future of humanity. And to some degree he's possibly right about that, although, you know, it's really, again, it all comes down to the same sort of thing, isn't it? It's, you know, to quote the TV shows, everybody wants to save the world, they just don't agree on how. And that's really kind of at the core of Fallout, is who is best to be in charge. Do we need to have somebody in charge of things for us to succeed as a species in these adverse conditions? And I think that's really the big question. But yeah, that was Vault 21. That's definitely one of the more interesting ones, and I say it is somewhere that you can stay. You can rent a room here. And there's a couple of little side quests that bring you here, as well as Sarah here will pay you to bring her Vault jumpsuits so that she can sell them in the gift shop. And if you bring her enough, she will invite you to her bed if that's what you want. So there you go. And oh yeah, the welcome mat here with the daisies on it is the same as the one that's outside Dr. Braun's Tranquility Lounge and Tranquility Lane. So there you go. So yeah, that's Vault 21. I say kind of a quick one. There's not really a lot going on in there. There's not a lot of it left, unfortunately. I don't know if this building was the one that originally housed the entrance to the vault. Possibly it was. We've got the big neon sign there, which Michelangelo probably was the one that created it. So this is his place here, and he is Sarah's brother, but he's agoraphobic. They both are a bit agoraphobic actually. So he doesn't leave his shop really anymore, and he stays there and works from there, making the billboards and the neon signs and things, and you know, making a living as an artist, which definitely isn't an easy thing to do in the real world, never mind in a devastated wasteland like this. So yeah, that's Vault 21, and that's going to be me signing off now. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Hope you found this interesting. Really thrilled to see so many new subscribers and things this last week. It's been awesome. So welcome to everybody that's kind of subscribed recently, and I hope you find this interesting and you're looking forward to more next week. So I will see you then. Bye.